everybody, and welcome to Be in the Know, Table Games and More. And tonight it's my pleasure to have as a guest Steph Nel. Steph, he's in charge of operations. I would take it for North America, TCS John Huxley, is that correct?
Yeah, it's for all the Americas, Benny.
Yeah, anything that's got an America. Well, that's a big job, Steph.
Tell me about it.
So before we start talking, you know, this vendor series is all about getting the products out there since we don't have a G2E this year. But before we start, you know, I always like to get the backstory on how people, you know, started and got into this business. Let's talk about your journey. How'd you start in table games?
So my journey, you know, this is quite how you do 20 years of history in less than 5 minutes. So I started as a dealer in 2000 in South Africa. Obviously, you can hear with the accent, I am South African. Worked in operations there as a dealer, then as an inspector, up until 07. And then 07, I joined TCS in South Africa. I worked with them for a number of years. From there, I moved to the UK for TCS. I lived there for 3 years. And then from 2017, I've been calling Las Vegas my home. And that's even better. That is even less than 5 minutes. That's 20 years.
Wow. So now you left Huxley for a little bit, didn't you? You went to another organization?
Yeah, I did about a 12-month stint with a company called Access Network. That was in between the South Africa and the UK move. Where it was a slot management company. So I opened up the African office for them, and I did also quite a lot of business in South America for them. So when the opportunity came to move to the UK and get back with TCS, I was kind of happy to jump at it, and the rest is history.
You can take the table games out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the table games, huh? So you finally had to come back. So we've been through this major pandemic, and like most, you know, casino operators or vendors, you know, it's been quite an adventure. So how tough has it been on TCS John Huxley over the shutdown, and now the I guess the restart is what we're in right now, a restart of the greatest industry in the world, right? Casino gaming.
Yeah. Well, I think the same as with everyone, when the shutdown happened, which now, to be honest with you, it feels that it was about 1,000 years ago. Those early days from March where we pretty much were in shock, where everything shut down. So we as a company, not just regionally but worldwide, obviously we had a look at ourselves. We spent in a lot of time working from home. We improved our processes. We looked at our current product portfolio, and then we also looked at new products. If we just look at our Care and Protect range, we look at that chip sanitizer. That went from pretty much concept to being out in the market in about 2 months, which we just fast-tracked that product. So we used our time wisely. We're getting processes in place, look at what products we need to bring to the market. As we know, this COVID pandemic that we're in has become a game changer. Things have changed, and it will probably be there for the foreseeable future. And we're just trying to adapt as the business goes, because ultimately it is the customers that drive what our business will become. And we trying to listen to what they have to say, see where we can innovate, because we always feel that we are quite a big innovator in the table gaming space. And that's what we're used to doing.
Well, being able to react quickly is, I think, a key to any vendor's success. You know, things happen so fastly, especially in the casino world, and people's flavor of the day changes, and you've got to be able to move with it. So one of the moves that you did late, and I think it was late in 19, you can correct me on this or not, you acquired some of the assets of GPI, and that was part of their utility products and layouts, correct?
Yeah, it's correct. So we went into that agreement 100% late 2019, but officially only took ownership of it in February 2020. So we've taken, we bought the table manufacturing facility, the layout facility, and also all the accessories, which is pretty much all the plastics. So that now just helps boost our current portfolio, because we always made physical tables here in Vegas. We've always made layouts. We always had the accessory business. So this has just helps strengthen that and just given us the mass that we've always wanted and needed, to be honest.
And you just, if I remember right, because I was involved in this, you guys just got like control of that Mexican plant, and then boom, they had to shut down. The shutdown hit them, and you were out of business there for a month or so, wasn't it?
Yeah. So pretty much, as like I said, we took over officially took ownership in February, and then pretty much the middle of March, everything shut down. Our Mexico facility also shut down. What we've then done again, and sometimes you have to take all the lessons that life throw at you. So we've used the time where we were shut down to get the process into place, to make sure that we've got all our ducks in a row. So when things were starting to open up again, we did, just to make it smoother with the end result. Currently, it is open now, and business is slowly creeping up, which is good. Our layout business is, at the moment, it's back to what it was pre-COVID level. So I'm very, very happy about that.
Yeah, I think the casinos as a whole are doing rather well. Especially a lot of operations are doing amazingly well in table games. But I talked this over with Bill Zender the other day, and I think all the time we've preached about time and motion and correctly utilizing and yielding the games, and they were forced to. All table games operations across the country were forced to do what they should have been doing all along, and it's created a quick recovery. So, well, that's good for you and good for all vendors. So you've always been known, TCS John Huxley, as the leader in roulette wheels. I mean, if anybody talks about wheels and tries to say any other wheel is better than the Saturn or they're just fooling themselves, because they're not. But you've got a lot of new products. In the last few years, the Blaze products have stormed onto the market and did really well. Are they still going strong?
Yeah, the Blaze product is it's part of a whole portfolio. Blaze is doing very, very well. I do believe there's going to be an even better future for Blaze. So we at TCS, and actually, what we like to do is all the product that we do manufacture. If we look at our Saturn roulette wheel, then you're 100% right. It is the best wheel in the world. I might be slightly biased, but that is the truth. The chipping machines that we make, the Blaze, everything incorporates, everything works with each other. So we're kind of looking into future-proof product. If we tie that also into our Corex ETG range, it's pretty much the same thing. Everything just adds on to each other. So even if you're not in the market right now for, let's say, Blaze, for Blaze Roulette, but you've got a Saturn wheel, all that you need is, you don't need to purchase a new roulette wheel, you just need to get the Blaze table from us. The same can be said really with the ETGs. Exactly the same thing with Corex. Because you've already got the Saturn roulette wheel, you don't need another roulette wheel, you can just add the terminals to your current existing configurations.
Well, I want to talk about Corex and focus it on it, but I just want to let everybody know that, believe it or not, you actually you have a lot of games that you front or you've developed. So get on the website and check it out. We're not going to go through every one of them because it's such a big catalog. Like I said, all the utility products. You got table games, performance products that you guys are into. But I think the jewel that I see on your website now is this Corex product. So let's dive into everything it can do. Give me a summary of all the functions and why that stadium product, which stadium products we all know that went crazy too, right? Because there's some people that just do not feel comfortable going back to the table games. And in fact, I'm going to be on the table games conference in a panel about all this pandemic and everything. And one of my slides is the rise of the machines, and that's the ATG. So give us the reason why we should go out and buy a Corex unit.
Well, as what we know, you know what, Corex, we have developed Corex now for a couple of years. Its timing now could not be even better on it. What we've done is we've got a couple of games currently for it. Obviously, we have Roulette, be it a live on a Saturn wheel, as I mentioned before, or a Saturn Auto, which again, which is your automated roulette wheel. We've got Baccarat, where that can connect into any smart shoe that you may have. It doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. We actually do connect into all of them. We've also got Sigbo. Sigbo is not necessarily the biggest game for North America, but it is quite a big game if you look at it from our Asian market. We're also looking at adding additional games to it. And again, you can look at dice. Craps is a big one. And again, this is now where it ties back into Blaze Craps. Because you've got Blaze Craps where there's manual entry, this will be an easier just flow into what the Corex is. Now, the way that Corex works, it's a 23-inch display. We have just received Gaming Lab approval. So now systematically we have a number of field trials actually currently out in the field. This is going to be our hottest product, I think, for the next 2 years. It looks good. And again, you know, like I said, with the wheels, I do believe it's really attractive with our highlight sign package. And you can have it in numerous configurations. What also works, which is slightly differently with us, is again, because you can connect it to your live table games. So again, you can have a player that is not comfortable playing on a live table, but he might like the look of that dealer. He might like his friends might be playing there, or there's just something about that particular numbers that is falling on that actual live table. You can connect that live wheel to that Corex terminal, so that player can still have that live table game experience of that same wheel, but just play it on his own sanitized individual Corex unit.
So let me ask you a question. I don't mean to hit you blind with this, but let's just say I've got a Baccarat game, and all I got on the Baccarat game's a tie, but I'm using the Corex unit, and I'm using it in a remote part of the casino, and somebody's playing off of this iShoe. I could add different side bets to the Corex unit. Am I correct about that? Yeah.
So again, because we are we also the manufacturer, so we manufacture pretty much all of our products. We don't distribute third-party products. It's all developed and made in-house. We're adding all different side bets onto it. So we are currently actually looking for different side bets to add, either to Baccarat, to Roulette, to Sigbo, even to Craps, just to kind of enhance that game. So if you've got something you want to throw my way, please do.
Now, is there a tournament feature on Corex?
Yeah, so there is currently a tournament feature on Corex. Again, it has got all the normal back of house where you can do the analytics. So I can then basically chop down who's playing at what time, at what table, or at what denomination. And you can just go through the entire accounting package at the back, which is quite good.
So you've got it approved for use in Nevada, you said? Is that
we're currently going through Nevada with a field trial currently. So far it's going well. Fingers crossed it continues. And then there is a couple of other states at the moment where we're busy just working with the operators and getting those field trials in for the local approvals. It's been a very busy time during COVID talking about Corex, and again, it's the same as what pretty much all operators, where not everyone will be comfortable to sit back at a table game. Also, the table games, people are going to be limited how many people can sit at a table game. So with that, we had this great product, which is Corex. We knew it was going to be doing well. and it's just the timing was just, you know, the stars aligned. It's perfect timing, and a lot of the customers have been phoning us for it, which is even better, which is nice.
Well, ETGs have really taken over the market. I mean, it really stepped up, and you know, if they could have prayed for anything, it might have been a pandemic, because it's really it's enhanced the value. Now the players are gravitating towards the ETGs, and they got a big future. I think it's going to wipe out table games anytime in the near future. No, but the growth is going to be exponential over the next you know, decade. I can definitely see it. And like for an operator, you know, my dealers can only handle so much calculations. And, you know, you can put so many side bets on it. The player can go nuts and bet 4 and 5 side bets on a game on an ETG, where, you know, it would slow the game so far down on a table game, it wouldn't make it profitable to run the side bets. So very interesting and a great product. Now, do you have a progressive system that's coming up soon?
Yeah, so we've also part of that also, we do have our GFL bonusing platform. And again, we have got all the relevant approvals now, which is great for that. All of that also came in, as luck would have it, near the end of last year. So again, you know what? Timing is key for everything. So we've been working behind the scenes, again, not just with Corex, but it was also with bonusing. So again, our progressive platform is to make it as simple as possible. The way that we can run the progressive is pretty much we can put anything on it. And I know that sounds very much, it's an open-ended question, but the way that we've done it is a case of, okay, we do not run casinos. The best people out there are operators like yourself. So you understand what works in your market, because it doesn't mean that what works in your joint works at another. So we've made it in such a way that you, the operator, can actually change the seed values at the back end. You can change what the contribution is. We can also, on our system, can have up to 7 independent meters. It doesn't mean that you'll have to use all of the meters. You might just want one single big jackpot, or you might want 5 different smaller incremental jackpots that you can pay, and you can configure the way that you want to configure it. All that we'll have to do is we'll just put a skin on. We can brand it. For instance, we can put B in the know, B's game. We just put the name on it, and from there we just brand that to the casino itself, and away you go. And then players can play. We can use it for, obviously, for roulette. We can use it for baccarat. We can use it for blackjack. Obviously, every single poker variation that you can think of on earth.
Well, it's a great idea, and I know, you know what, it's amazing that I was at the Huxley facility. Oh man, this had to be 2004, 5, or 6, and we're working on something very similar, and to finally see it, you know, that come to fruition, to where you can make anything you want into a progressive. You can link anything. I think realistically, the sky's the limit. You know, you hear about operators talking about, boy, I wish I could link craps with blackjack, with baccarat, with roulette. And here you can. You just got to figure out what you want to call the jackpot, do the math, and your system will handle it. Correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. It's all part of, and you're right, this has been pretty much a number of years in the making, this bonusing. And this is part of, again, one of that earlier comment that I made, is we look at all our product, is we want to future-proof it, because we do know that it is a big expense for operators, especially now. And I think now more than ever, it's you have to give that value that people are wanting. So by giving a product that I know that in the next 5 years or 10 years, things that I'm developing now will incorporate that product that you've got now, or maybe want to purchase next year. And that's exactly with the bonusing again. It works the same way. Because you've got a Saturn roulette wheel, we can utilize that. Because you've got our GFL baccarat, we can utilize that for bonusing. We can utilize that for Corex. It just it just encapsulates what we wanted to do for a number of years. And again, timing now is it's just perfect for it.
Well, I hope I hope next year at this time we should have been at G2E this week, I think. And
it would have been last. You know what? It was this week exactly. I would have had no voice by now.
Yeah.
I would be tired. My feet would be sore. It would be swollen. Yeah, and we would all be energized in such a way, seeing what the industry had to offer, and just seeing all of our friends and colleagues. So this is truly just a different year, but thanks to you and to we can actually do these things virtually now, which is great.
Yeah, and I think we had to do this, to keep our sanity. It's just G2E is such a special time, and if you're in this business and you're working them 14-hour days and you're really putting it all out there on the line, then get that little break in November, October. It's just it's very meaningful, and especially to get the chance to meet colleagues and people you deal with throughout the year in it's really not a formal event at all. It's more of a gathering of people, and it's a special time. And like I said, I really miss it, and I hope in next year that I can take Regeneron or whatever maybe Trump can come up with some other thing I can stick in my side or whatever. Probably by next week, right before the election. But anyway, if that's the case, maybe we can all be there next year, and that's what I'm hoping for. Because Las Vegas is taking such a hit right now, and you're there, you know it, you see it with your own eyes. It's just it's a totally different animal, and it's going to be until the point in time where the convention business can come back, and the international flights can come back, and even so much as Canada, you can't even fly. Realistically, it's a pain to fly from Canada to the United States because of all the quarantine you got to do when you go back to Canada. So, Las Vegas lives on a lot of Hawaiian business, and it's just a shame. It's turned back into a weekend warrior, which it was quite some years ago, back when I was bending and paying. That was the way it was. The Californians came in on the weekend and crushed us, and we worked. We had good during the week, but California was crazy. And now a lot of them value-based gamblers are coming back into Las Vegas, and I think a lot of the operations have had to change their strategies from we just got conventioners here, let's blow them out. That's 6 to 5, 9 to 5, 4 to 5, whatever we can put in there to get their money quickly. And they've had to change to a more value-based gaming for right now to attract these gamblers back to Las Vegas. But I'm hoping it all goes back to normal very soon.
Yeah, you know what, and I think that's pretty much the same as with everyone. We all hope, but again, what we'll have to do as an industry is we just have to react to whatever challenges comes our way. And it's, again, who would have thought about this in January or February? March, the whole world was in shock. Now, if I look back the last 6 months, you know what? I think we've all grown personally, not just figuratively, because we know what happens when we sit at home for too long. But our industry has changed. You know what? And a lot of times I do believe it is for the better, and we just have to adapt. And that adaptation comes into the forms of what the operators do, like yourself, and also what the clientele does. And again, this is where we will just have to see where we can just kind of utilize our collective as good as what we can, and just hope for the best. But yeah, I do miss the convention business, I can tell you that.
Well, this is the most resilient business that I've ever been around. I've been through, I was in 911. I was in Las Vegas when the mortgage crash hit. And you know what? Las Vegas and the gaming industry just keeps roaring back. A funny fact is when I moved to Las Vegas, 7% of the United States had been exposed to any form of gaming. It's hard to believe. I mean, we're talking 30 years, right? But yeah. 7% had never either they experienced bingo or lottery or something. But because now when I left Vegas, that number was still only up to about 18%. So there's a lot of room for growth in gaming, and you've seen that. You know, everybody says, "Oh my God, California got gaming." I remember when the compacts were signed. That was the end of Vegas, and guess what? It wasn't. It just created more people who wanted to come to the promised land and check it out, right? So then, you know, the expansion of gaming throughout the U.S. was coming. Everybody's doomsday. You know, it's all going to end. No, there's going to be no more loss. All it did was the city has grown and grown and grown, and that's gaming as a whole. It's so resilient, and you know what? People love it, and it's great entertainment. And if you know, if you take it that way, you're going to do all right with it. You know, some people have a little problem with it, but it's a very small minority. And you know, I love it. And that's why I do what I'm doing here. And Steph, I got to thank you so much for coming on the show. Can't wait to see you live. And you got anything? You got any final words for the viewers out there?
Man, you know what? It's been great. Thank you very much again. I think you're doing our industry a great service. All of the videos that you put out, all the comments that you make. For those of the viewers that's not following you, they've got to follow you. Your LinkedIn insights is great. Some of it makes me laugh out loud, I got to admit. But again, from a final thought is just a case of we do have a very resilient industry. Us as suppliers and vendors, we are here for the operators like yourself. And again, we're all in this together. We are all local, and this is quite important. So we just have to look after each other and help where we can.
Well, you guys have nothing to worry about. You got a great team there with Greg Stewart and Chrissy Cruz and all the staff of Huxley is just amazing. Of course, your owner is a horse owner, so you know it's got to be a great company. So I wish you very much success. And everybody out there, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe. There's a button down here somewhere. And you like the video, also hit the bell for future notifications. And hey, maybe we'll get some more guys like Steph on here if we keep going. So thank you so much for watching. And remember to be in the know.